A deadly terrorist attack just over the Moscow city limits rocked Russia, killing at least 139 people as gunmen opened fire on concert-goers. And now, President Vladimir Putin is livid and on a hunt to find out who ordered the hit on Russia.
Мы знаем, чьими руками было совершено это злодеяние против России и ее народа. Нас интересует, кто заказчик.
The Russian FSB even claims that Ukraine, UK and the US were behind the attack. Who was really behind the Moscow attack? Is there a Western connection? I'm Shivan. Welcome to Game Plan. US officials said they had warned Russia weeks in advance about an imminent attack and that intelligence indicated that Islamic State Khorasan ISIS-K, based out of Afghanistan, was responsible. French President Emmanuel Macron said that an entity of the Islamic State instigated this attack. Putin blamed Ukraine, with which the war continues since the Russian invasion. And Ukraine has denied any role, and Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Putin of seeking to divert the blame. Putin said that 11 suspects had been detained since the attack, including 4 suspected gunmen who were detained in Russia's Bryansk region as they were escaping into Ukraine, which had prepared a window in the border for the terrorists to cross. Now, most recently, the director of Russia's Federal Security Service, the FSB, Alexander Bortnikov, claimed that the US, Britain and Ukraine were involved in the deadly Moscow attack. Now, here's something to think about. After the attack, the gunmen had 3 options for their getaway plan from the outskirts of Moscow. They could have slipped into Belarus, which was the closest option for them, but they feared tight controls at the Belarusian border, which is a close ally of Russia anyway. Hence, they chose to slip into Ukraine instead, but were detained about 340 kilometers southwest of Moscow while fleeing. Now, they also had a third option, which was Latvia. And let me tell you why this was a viable getaway option logistically. There's no proper fencing for 180 kilometers of the border between Latvia and Russia, and no border protection infrastructure for nearly 50 kilometers at this border. Yet they chose to move towards Ukraine, which is already at war with Russia. Perhaps because Latvia is a NATO nation. Had they been detained by Russian authorities while exiting to a nation allied with the West, it would have only given more certainty to Russia of a possible Western involvement, and one can only imagine the consequences thereafter. The West believes a faction of the Islamic State was behind the attack. Russia believes it was the West and the Ukrainian regime which backed the Islamic State to carry out the attack. What do you feel? Let me know in the comments.